Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Alright everybody, welcome back for another April Fool's 2017 video. This one started out as just a normal squatted up tank fight. I'm squatted up with one of my oldest War Thunder friends who came back to playing the game after a couple years away, or at least a year away. And another YouTuber there, JohnMan94, and another one of my normal subscribers and occasional squad mates, Ironclad, right there in front of me. So I recorded this out of the replay just because during the actual live gameplay we had a lot of talking that was totally irrelevant to what was going on with what we were doing and with what's going on in the video, and it was fine, but it would have been distracting for the intent of this video. So as it starts out, you can see I've already died once. That part was just us moving forward trying to cap, and then all of us getting knocked out pretty quickly, and then we spawned back, came back up to the C point, and I'm out in the lead. And as I get past the C point here, there's 3 enemies up here on the road, so I'm going to try and blow past and come around and loop around behind them, flank around behind and come up on their side while my squad mates attack them from the front. Unfortunately, this kind of... I missed with my first shot there. As you can see, I've got ATGMs loaded, and while I'm reloading this first ATGM and knock out that T90 with some excellent flying turret action, the time it took for that to happen, and then finally come over here and bust through the wall and get up this hill and come around behind where the enemies were. All the enemies are gone. They've either moved on or been destroyed by my squad mates and my teammates, which is mostly what happened here. There's just one left down here, that leopard, and he gets knocked out by my squad. So they're already in capturing the C point. I don't have time to get in on the capture, which is no big deal because really it's sort of irrelevant to get all the captures here anyway. You don't have to worry about any research, and there are no rewards for anything. So I'm parked here reloading, testing the reload on... This is from yesterday, obviously. So I was parked here testing out the reload on the smoke canisters, which, yes, it does in fact work, because that was a single one right there. They do reload one at a time. I get an ATGM off at this Apache, and just as the smoke comes into view and starts obscuring what I can see, I get a solid connect on the front of him. So that's the first helicopter shot down for this video. Now, as I start moving forward here, testing to verify that the reload does happen more than just one canister, which it does. This has been a known thing, but yesterday when I was testing this out, I hadn't seen it anywhere specifically confirmed that they reloaded one at a time, or you just had to reload slowly and get all of them. But they do in fact reload 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however, 6 I guess. And you can deploy the smoke with whatever total you have loaded. So I'm trying to get a second ATGM helicopter kill here. But unfortunately, the guidance in the gun scope mode doesn't reach high enough to get any shots in on those helicopters, so that was a bit of a wasted... Now, of course, you can see where that leopard is right there in the battle, but I didn't see him. Or in the replay you can see him, but of course I didn't see him in the actual battle, so... Starting over again. The helicopters weren't exactly my focus yet. This was still... we were still trying to just have some tank gameplay here. But obviously there's quite a lot of helicopters coming into view, and that's an anti-tank guided missile exploding right next to me. We fired off our smoke to try and camouflage ourselves from the missiles, and this guy, I thought I had a really good kill on him, but he'd already been killed. So as my track is broken, this will end up being my second helicopter kill of the game, and as you can see, you don't have to kill the helicopters with main tank guns or with anti-tank guided missiles. You can do it with the machine guns, as I just did right there. So there's the second helicopter taken down. And as I said, our focus was still not quite on the enemy helicopters yet. We're still trying to work on enemy tanks. Now, he still showed up with a red name next to him, so I saw that out of the corner of my eye and turned to zoom in, and it's the wrecked helicopter that I shot down. Now, this was probably one of my favorite kills for the game. Well, this was one of my favorites. So this helicopter comes into a nice hover as I'm able to line up and start dancing my shells in on him to try and get a main shot kill. And as I'm reloading, my squad mate, Ironclad, just nails him with an ATGM, and I just happen to be beautifully zoomed in on it to record that kill for him. And then I get hit again. Now, while I'm sitting here repairing, I cut out the repair time. So as I'm sitting here repairing, I've got a whole bunch of ATGMs coming at me from the helicopters. And as I zoom in here, you can see there's another helicopter in the background, and then when I zoom back in to take a shot at them, you can see 5 enemy attack helicopters coming into the battle. So when I respawned this time, I decided, alright, there's no point, I'm just going to come back in with the ZSU and see how many helicopters I can shoot down. So it takes me a moment to kind of range them in here, and initially my modus operandi was definitely spray and pray and volume of fire over concentration of fire. But it works pretty well. Once I figure out the range a little bit, I did a little bit better with actually aiming and calculating the lead and the distance. But for my initial run here, it was a lot of hold down the trigger and walk the tracers in on target. There's the first one with the ZSU-23. This guy gets right overhead, and I couldn't quite see him with the radar in the way. Gets set on fire, and as I'm trying to fight out the fire, more ATGMs are just coming in from everywhere. This was actually really fun. A really fun entire sequence of battle here with ATGMs versus, or rather, attack helicopters versus anti-air vehicles. There's number 5. And then we get hit by an anti-tank guided missile from an Apache. So we come back in, and I just spawned ZSU-23-4s for the rest of this battle. Now, when you see me bring up the artillery reticle, I meant to mention this the first time. This is in the battle, the actual battle, this is when the map would come up. So I'm not firing artillery where you see me, where you see it there. It's somewhere on the map. Most likely it's going to be someplace that either the enemy is taking or that our guys have located somebody and I'm firing preparatory or support artillery at them. So that one didn't go quite as well, but I'm showing you all the deaths here as well as all the kills, so you can kind of keep track at the bottom as well with the running score total. Got those lined up pretty well eventually for helicopter kill number 6. Got some hits on this guy, ran into the rock, and then was able to line up on him and take him down for helicopter kill number 7. Quite a lot of activity going on here with the anti-tank, or with the anti-tank helicopters. And that was 3 quick kills. This was the fastest 3 kills I got in any sequence here was just right there. Now, most of these enemies are a bit farther away, and I don't know the exact total range that you could reach, and I couldn't really tell quite how far away he was, so I was just kind of hedged my bets and swept the gun up, down, up, down, up, down to extend my range a little bit. And get taken out by another ATGM. Now, we're calling out targets to each other here as well and trying to point out. They're calling out helicopters for me to take down because I was having some pretty good success against them. And here and there they join in, and John was mostly flying in his helicopter trying to get anti-helicopter on helicopter battle footage for a video that he's working on as well. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He does a lot of air reviews, aircraft reviews, and how-tos. And there's a number 9. A couple more helicopters coming in. And before I can quite dial in the range, I get taken out by another ATGM. But we're up to 9 so far. And immediately spawn in and get sweet revenge for double-digit helicopter kill number 10 on the guy that had just killed me with the ATGM previous. But my victory was not to last very long. Quite a lot of deaths here as well. Now, the team was doing a pretty good job of going back and forth and taking points back from the enemy and capturing them, but there were just so many enemy helicopters in the sky, it was really tough to take a... I mean, it was tough to just decap a point as we bagged kill number 11 there, let alone actually take it back. Now, you can see the enemy up here in the front. Of course, you can see where all the enemies are on the replay, but I couldn't tell where the guy was up here to the right at the corner of the building in the battle, obviously, and you'll see in a moment as I draw down on this Apache, obviously telegraphing my position to the enemy tank, and he knocks me out. But we're not done yet. Which, if you read the title of the video, you know this isn't over yet. For some reason in the replay, occasionally when you get killed, the replay switches over to someone else, which takes away the operator view option being selected, the number 2 option up there on the view screen. So that's how that helicopter kind of got up in behind the replay UI. Now that was probably the most disappointing death right there, because that guy was in real close right on top of me, and I had him lined up for an easy kill as I got ATGM'd. But got right back to it, getting some hits on this guy, but didn't quite take him out until there. And there's an even dozen anti-air helicopter kills. I don't have the ZSU-23-4 in the main War Thunder game yet, but I can see it's going to be quite fun to use. I do have the German Gepard, which I've used to quite a lot of effect in the main game. And again, here, this artillery went towards the A point because they're taking it. So you can just see anytime that the artillery comes up, it's because I'm using it somewhere else on the map in the actual battle. The replay obviously doesn't show you that. So I'm up to 12 kills. The clock is ticking down on the battle here, and I'm trying to get as many kills as possible now just before this battle ends, because it looks like we're in a lot of trouble ticket-wise. There's just not a lot left. And I mean, really, at this point, just about any kill is going to do it for us. But I do manage to bag my 13th kill and dodge a missile. And then I'll dodge another missile coming in. And then I'll dodge another missile coming in. And then your luck can only really last so long. And couldn't quite get the 14th kill before the battle ended. But it was close. But that's it. I just wanted to get another, that was the best anti-helicopter battle that I had. I wanted to get that one out for you guys to watch. That should be the last April Fool's video for 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time for some regular World of Warships and War Thunder content. Thanks for watching.